Welcome back to Dog Cinema Recaps. Today, we're going to be recapping 2021's The Black Phone.
Thank you to Moon Many Phantoms for the suggestion, and if you'd like to see your favourite movie recapped, please let us know in the comments section. 4 to 6 week schedule depending, but please, no franchises as we probably got them already planned.
In 1978, a serial child abductor nicknamed the Grabber prowls the streets of a Denver suburb. Siblings Finney, who I am going to call Phineas at some point, and Gwen Blake live in the area with their abusive, alcoholic father. At school, Finney is frequently bullied and harassed. He doesn't get bullied, he gets his shit pushed in, royally. And his sister, Gwen, takes some beatings too. He has a friendship with a classmate, Robin, who fends off the bullies. A boy from another school that Finney knew, Bruce, is abducted by the Grabber. Gwen, who has psychic dreams, much like her late mother, dreams of Bruce's kidnapping and sees that he was taken by a man in a black van with black balloons. Detectives Wright and Miller interview Gwen, but struggle to believe her claims. I mean, it's completely not understandable. I mean, if a 9-year-old girl came up to you and said, "I have dreams," and I'm sure they'd be straight on it. The Grabber abducts Robin, as well as Finney days later. Finney awakens in a soundproof basement. On the wall was a disconnected Wi-Fi, black rotary phone that the Grabber says does not work. Later, Finney hears the phone ring and answers it.
Bruce's ghost, unable to remember his own name or who he was when he was alive, tells Finney about a floor tile he can remove to dig a tunnel to escape. The police search for Finney is unsuccessful. The Grabber brings Finney food and leaves the door to the basement unlocked. Finney prepares to sneak out, but is stopped by another boy on the phone called Billy. He explains that this is a game that the Grabber plays. He is waiting for him upstairs to attack him with a belt. Billy instructs him to use a cord Billy found to get out via the basement window. While climbing, Finney breaks the bars on the window, preventing him from climbing back up.
Gwen dreams of Billy being abducted and confides in her father about what is happening. Wright and Miller speak to an eccentric man called Max, who's staying in the area with his brother. It is revealed Finney is being held in Max's basement, which he is unaware of, and the Grabber is his brother. After an agitated exchange with the Grabber, where he tests Finney's honesty, it makes it seem as if he would have let Finney go. Finney speaks to another one of his victims, Griffin, on the phone. Griffin shows Finney a combination lock to a lock and informs him that the Grabber has fallen asleep upstairs. Finney sneaks upstairs and unlocks the door, but the Grabber's dog bastard alerts him of Finney's escape. Finney flees down the street but is recaptured.
Despondent over his failed escape attempt, Finney answers the phone to hear another victim, a punk called Vance, whom Finney was scared of. Vance informs Finney of a connecting storeroom he can escape through if he breaks a hole in the wall and exits through the freezer on the other side of the wall. Finney creates a hole with a toilet tank cover and enters the back of the freezer, only to discover that the freezer door is locked. The phone rings one more time with Robin at the end of the line. He comforts Finney and encourages him to finally stand up and fight for himself. He instructs Finney to remove the phone receiver and pack it with dirt he has dug up and use it as a weapon.
Gwen dreams of Vance's abduction and discovers the property of the Grabber. She finds the house and contacts Wright and Miller. Max realizes Finney is being held in the house and rushes to the basement to free him, but his brother kills him with an axe.
One hell of a kill.
Oh, it's a beaut. The police rush to the house that Gwen found, but find it's empty. In the basement, they find the buried bodies of the Grabber's victims. The Grabber attacks Finney with the axe, but Finney manages to trip the Grabber with the cord, causing him to fall into the tunnel that Finney dug, where the Grabber breaks and traps his ankle in the window bars placed at the bottom. The ghosts taunt the Grabber over the phone before Finney breaks his neck with a phone cord, killing him.
Finney distracts the guard dog with meat from the freezer and escapes the house using the combination he learned. Finney exits a house across the street from the grave sites, where he reunites with Gwen and the police rush to the property. The siblings comfort each other as their father arrives and tearfully apologises for his treatment. Back at school, a confident Finney sits next to his crush in class.
They call me Finn now. So, the black phone. I remember when this film came out, I didn't like it.
No, I love the premise. I think it could have done with being a little bit shorter because there was a lot of padding and filler. But I love the true crimey-ness of it.
The brother's like the true crime nerd. He's like you and you got a TCL on. But when we rewatched it again twice since when it came back to doing this, and then both of them times, you know what? It really is a damn good film. It's a bit chunky in places.
Yes, it's a good film, but it's not a classic horror film.
Ethan Hawke, though.
Yes.
Oh, man.
He plays a villain so well.
I know. He plays
really
everything so well. And I rate this film now.
Yeah.
It's better than what I thought. Like, when you pick up on certain things.
The hype for it was a lot higher.
But bear in mind, though, the hype was just after COVID. Nobody'd seen a new horror film in forever.
And everybody was being like, pushed, this is a new one, this is
going to be the best one. This is going to be the best thing since Story of Celery and Handjobs.
Because of the hype that was around it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the film's fault.
No, I don't think it was the film's, but that hype around it really damaged the way people saw it first.
Yeah,
a rewatch is really a good thing for this film.
You can look online now and you will see mixed reviews for this film. People who absolutely love it, people who just think it's absolute awfulness. And I do think the psychic premise is stupid, and it's forced angst. That little girl at the beginning, though, when they're talking about it in the beginning, she got such an attitude with the police, and it is piss funny as well. And away from like the highlights, what we talk about, the dialogue in between, it is actually very, very good, and it's very well done.
The psychic bit, I felt like it was to try and get everybody where they needed to be without him making a mistake.
How do we insert plot points without putting any real effort into it? Oh.
Make a
psychic abilities! We've all seen Carrie. Carrie, this'll do it. In that one-off Friday film with the telekinesis. In Resident Evil Afterlife, we could do this a lot.
Yeah, you could go for quite a few of them.
Yeah, I always think telekinesis is lazy.
Yeah.
But it's still decent. Yeah. It's still a decent film. I mean, you could take the telekinesis away and have the police actually do police work.
Yeah, because it was very lazy police work. There wasn't that much. I was expecting more police work to be seen than...
Yeah, if they focused on the police work of it, then we'd be talking about an amazing film. If they'd actually done the effort, if they'd gone bloody saw efforts of police work and done it properly.
Oh god, yes, all that.
I know, it worked really, really well because the premise of the dead kids and the phone and whatnot, that's fantastic, and I'm all on board with that. Ghosts were on board with telekinesis, we're not. Where do we draw the line there, turns out?
But the other side of it, everything else with him in the basement and having these phone calls giving him what he needs to be able to try and survive because everybody else failed. Yeah. That worked really well, but it was just shoved in psychic.
There was also a lot of unnecessary jump scares in there with the ghosts as well, which kind of seemed fun. There was a couple of times, jump scares don't really bother me, but like there's a couple of times where I wasn't
paying attention.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's there behind him, like half his face, basically like, oh fuck me, someone came to play.
But I like the fact that they didn't play that he could see them. It was only that when he got the phone call, they gave him his
it
wasn't just, we can see ghosts. Because his sister's psychic, he can see ghosts.
Yeah, it was vague enough for it to be engaging.
But enough of it, he needs to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I mean, he gave him the puzzle and he was able to figure it out for himself. He also got floor eggs as well, which you never make me floor eggs. And you wear a mask quite a lot.
They'd be furry.
In this house with our dogs, definitely. So, the black phone then.
I'd say it's definitely worth a rewatch if you watched it first and didn't really rate it, because you pick up on so many little plot points and different things that you didn't really see because the hype was
it needs more than one watch through. I am going to sufficiently say this film is meh.